Ymir. In a world abandoned by humanity where silence reigns supreme, an eerie quiet dominates, marked by the soft rustle of leaves. Once busy streets are now vacant, echoing a bygone era. Formerly grand structures are skeletons, overrun by the resilient force of nature. A breeze wafts through empty alleys, carrying faint reminders of a lost vitality. Our known world vanished, replaced by a desolate landscape. The hum of life is now a ghostly echo, leaving a gaping void. Amidst this spectral stands the final trace of a forgotten. Meet our solitary survivor, a man bound by the chains of loneliness. Every sunrise, he awakens to face the day, his only companion, the echo of his footsteps against a backdrop of silence. His routine is a dance of solitude, a ballet performed on the stage of desolation. He gathers what he can, scrounging through remnants of a forgotten world, each object a haunting reminder of what once was. His meals are sparse, his nights long and filled with the ghosts of his past. Through the passage of time, his heart oscillates between the fear of being the last, the hope of not being so, and the despair of uncertain tomorrows. His emotions are a swirling vortex, the colors of his solitude painted in shades of dread and desolation. As the sun dips below the horizon, he retreats to his makeshift shelter, the only place he can escape from the chilling emptiness of his world. Night descends, and in the deafening silence, an ominous knock echoes. Our last man, swallowed by the solitude, jolts from his reverie. His heart hammers in his chest, a wild symphony of shock and fear. The knock. It's impossible, isn't it? He's alone, the last heartbeat in a world that's lost its rhythm. His mind races, teetering on the edge of reason. The knock reverberates through the hollow shell of his existence, a phantom reminder of a world that once was. It's a chilling symphony of dread and longing, each knock a haunting refrain. His fear wars with an insatiable desperation, the yearning for human contact, a voice, a whisper, anything to abate the crushing loneliness. Yet the unknown is a terrifying abyss. The knock comes again, a siren call in the silence. His breath hitches, caught between the terror of what might be and the despair of what is. With a trembling hand he reaches for the door, the sound of his heartbeat drowning out the world. The door creaks open, revealing nothing but the pitch-black darkness. An abyss of the unknown, a void that swallows all light and hope. The last man on earth stands at the threshold, his heart pounding in his chest like a wild drum. He's greeted by an eerie silence, a symphony of nothingness, broken only by the occasional whisper of the wind. Confusion creeps into his mind, a silent intruder that feeds on his fear. There's no one at the door, no one but the darkness, the silence, the emptiness. His breath hitches in his throat, the taste of fear bitter on his tongue. A shiver runs down his spine as he steps outside, his eyes desperately searching the inky blackness for something, anything. The world outside is as empty as the world inside. The suspense is unbearable, a monster lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, a chilling wind blows, slamming the door shut behind him. Trapped outside, his sanctuary now a prison, fear grips him tighter. The door, once his shield against the unknown, now stands as an unyielding barrier. His desperate attempts to reopen it are met with stark futility, each thud echoing into the hollow silence. The darkness around him starts to thicken, a chilling manifestation of his growing dread. The world once familiar morphs into an eerie labyrinth of shadows, each one hiding a potential terror. The silence is broken by strange, inhuman whispers that seem to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, weaving a dreadful symphony of the unknown. His heartbeat quickens, a frantic drum echoing his mounting panic. He's no longer alone. Something lurks in the darkness, unseen, unfathomable, closing in. His breath catches in his throat, the reality of his predicament sinking in. He is the prey in a world he no longer recognizes.